Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully, everybody else will get that email if anyone else is going to join us today. But I did get all your requests in the Facebook group yesterday, so thank you for participating and bringing all that to my attention. I appreciate that. So, how are you doing with all this, Sabine?
Oh, I'm just way behind. I have questions that pop up as I go along, but to be honest, I have not had a chance to address what I need to change on my on my LinkedIn yet.
Okay. I understand. I mean, it gets busy and it's just another thing to do, right? So,
Yes, and I wear all the hats. So unfortunately, I put this a little bit as a low priority. I try to put out all the fires first, and so I haven't been able to do as much as I was hoping.
gotcha. Okay, well, you're going to have this course as long as you need it. You know, you'll have access to our modules and all that.
Right.
And we're still figuring out. We're going to be doing another marketing round with new participants. So I think we're going to grandfather you guys in for some of those calls as well, if you're interested.
Okay.
But we're only guaranteed you 6 calls, so this will be the 6th call as far as the ones that we guarantee. So they'll kind of probably be more sporadic and spread out. They won't be every week anymore. But let's address some of your questions. So let's see here. So first you asked me a bunch of questions. I'm just going to kind of go in the ones that I think I can answer the quickest to. One of them was, let's see, what is the most read articles or posts and how can we make them stand out? So I don't know if you watched, we did a group call maybe 2 weeks ago where we talked a little bit about this, but I'm going to kind of outline what it is that I want you to know here. So let me share my screen in a second here. So share. Let's see. Okay, you can see my Google screen right now?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go to a website called BuzzSumo. And the reason I go here is because it is a indicator of what people are posting and what people are sharing on social media. Obviously, we're looking at LinkedIn here. But if you're going to do content marketing and create content, some of the most effective, like the most shared articles and content are about things that people are already, they're already sharing with other people, they're already listening to. So if you go to this website, BuzzSumo, you can do, I think it's like somewhere between 5 and 10 searches on here for free. And then they have an upgraded version. So it's kind of like a freemium version. But if I want to, can you remind me, what's a topic I could type in here for you that would make sense for
The aromatherapy.
How do you spell it?
Aromatherapy.
Aroma. Okay.
Yeah, aromatherapy. In one word.
Okay. I already hit enter, but I think I'll do both here. So let's just start. I'll fix it in a second here, but we can kind of just look at this. So this is over the last year, people that have done this. Let me go ahead and do it as one word. I think it'll be better. So here we go. Over the past year, this is the type of articles that had the most shares, and this is sorted by the total number of shares here. Okay. So this one had 41.4 thousand. This one had 29.3 thousand shares, and you can kind of see this is about pediatric experts find aromatherapy effective for promoting infant healing. And this had 90 LinkedIn shares. So if I can actually, what I can do is I can sort by LinkedIn. And the articles that had the most LinkedIn shares are these two here, which is benefits of aromatherapy on dementia, and this article about aromatherapy associates and Groupon to sponsor National Spa Week. So you get an idea of what people are doing. Now these are also over the course of 12 months. If you want to keep more current, we can actually go back to like the past month or the past week.
Oh, I
And,
see.
and this is kind of cool because we can see what's being shared over the past week. And it's just a way of kind of getting in front of what's trending and what's popular, and then writing articles that people are more likely to share and be interested in. So
Okay.
here's kind of Alzheimer's and aromatherapy. So that seems to be kind of a popular topic. There's another one that was popular there about dementia and aromatherapy.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to consider. This one's getting a lot of Facebook traction, 325 shares and then 14 on LinkedIn. And this is over just the last week. And let's see here. And if we just look over the past 24 hours, the numbers will drop pretty dramatically. Let me see here. Nope. Yeah, I've already reached my daily limit, but this is kind of the tool. So yeah, it is. I think it's 5. You can only do like 5 repeat searches a day, per day. But it's a really good tool. They have I have a similar tool that I bought called what's it called? It is called Traffic Fresh. So this is another. It's very similar to BuzzSumo, but I bought this and they. Hang on. I show you BuzzSumo though because it's easier, and I think for you guys, once a day you can hop on there, get some ideas, and it's just really effective. So I think it's a good source to get started with all this. So that's one of the tools I use. So I'm not going to go into more detail on that right now.
When do you, what number do you start considering an article of worthy importance? Let's say in a month, like what's the minimum amount of interest it generates before you say, oh, this is really trending?
I mean, it's kind of it depends, I would say, but I mean, really, I just go with whatever's the highest and kind of get in front of that.
Okay.
LinkedIn tends to have less shares than Facebook. I think Facebook's technology is more designed for sharing articles.
Okay.
So it's sometimes you can look at Facebook and find out what's popular and still put it on LinkedIn and get a lot of traction. So, I mean, just because they're not sharing an article too, doesn't mean they're not liking the article and they're not commenting and things like that, because this doesn't measure engagement. It just measures based on number of times people share this with other people. But shares do tend to, if you're sharing with other people, it's reaching the broadest network, and then it's most likely to have the most engagement. So it's kind of how it works. I think from I would look for a minimum of about 15. I mean, if it's getting 15 shares over the last probably 15 shares over the last month is a starting point.
Okay.
And then obviously more than that is preferred. On your subject matter, I think it's not as popular. If I were to type something about politics in there, I'm sure it'd be much.
Right.
There's certain topics that kind of gather more traction. But at least you can see in the field that you're working, you can see what's popular and what's working within that field. So, and what's driving the most interest. So it's a good tool to use. And then let me come back to, let's see here. What else do we have? Okay, you'd also talked about kind of where to put hashtags in articles. And Jackie had commented on here too about where to how to tag people in your updates or articles. So let's get into that real quick. So when you're writing a update on LinkedIn, so when you go to the homepage, so if I come when I log into LinkedIn, I go to the homepage, I click just right here, I can do my share, and I can just write like, hey, today is Wednesday. I'm not going to post this. But for Jackie's question, in case you're watching the replay, I can just hit the @ button, and then I can tag anyone I want to tag. So if I wanted to tag you, Sabine, I could just type @Sabine, and there you are. And now I just click on your picture, and now I've tagged you. If I wanted to tag Andros, just Andros. I'll find him there. So you need to tag people that are within, I think it's within your first or second degree network only. So if they're not there, you can't tag them. And it's a lot easier to tag people in your first degree network. So if you're connected to them, I think it's much easier to tag them and find them. But I mean, really, you tag them that way. Now, I believe that they don't let you tag companies, though. Let me check here. At least, yeah. Let me try this one more time. So the challenge is, I think they have a minimum threshold on companies you can tag. So it's not as easy to tag companies as it is to tag people.
Oh, so, but I did tag Andros because he wrote an article, and I thought, or he shared an article, and I thought it was interesting. So I tagged him with the with that symbol. But I thought that you could use, even though they don't link to anything, that you could use hashtags.
Yeah, you could. I mean, hashtags are different. So hashtags are, what happens is, hashtags are a way of sorting data in social media sites like LinkedIn. They're most effective on, what I would say they're most effective on Instagram and Twitter, but they're also used on Facebook and LinkedIn. And again, they're a way of sorting data. And really what happens with that is at the end of your article, so I've tagged you and Andros, I'm not going to post this, but I would just do a hashtag, and I could do hashtags of things that are trending. LinkedIn, I don't think they give you I'd say the best way to get trending ideas is probably to use Twitter and look at their trending topics here. So let me just see here, Twitter trends. No, Twitter search. So if I hop on to something like Twitter search, and I want to look up aromatherapy. No, this is not exactly what I was looking for, but it's it'll give you these related hashtags, and the only one they give me is hashtag essential oils. And then if you come down here, though, it says worldwide trends, and these are the hashtags that are trending on Twitter worldwide. And what happens is, generally these things are universal across social media. So if something's trending on Twitter, that tends to trend on other social media platforms as well. But you can see, like, these are the hockey awards. A lot of this is sports related here. So, but you get an idea of some of the stuff that's trending here. And if I go to latest people, let's see here, broadcast. Let me see. I'm blanking on. There's actually a site for the Twitter trends here, and so this one. Well, this is a site that's not. This is not Twitter directly. It's this is trends24.in. I just found on Google. So I'm not completely familiar with this, but you can find. I mean, you can find all kinds of good resources for social media. But here we can look at they're updating the Twitter trends every hour, basically. And then kind of over the last couple hours, you can see what's been trending in online. So if any of this ties back to what you're doing, you can kind of use this to absorb attention. And
yeah, but would it be weird if I'm just making it up, but let's say that I do a hashtag George Clooney.
Yeah.
It would have nothing to do with my article. It would seem a little...
That tends to be weird, but on like every day of the week, a lot of times there's some unique hashtags. Like on Mondays, there's Motivation Monday. So on Mondays, I might use that hashtag because I'm going to try to tie whatever I'm talking about to a motivational thing. So I could talk about like using your internet marketing to grow your business and being motivated in that way. So then I could do a hashtag Motivational Monday on a Monday, and what would happen is anyone that's searching that hashtag will find my post within all the rest of those. So it's kind of it's useful because if you're searching by hashtag, then you will be among all those other people, and it just helps you to get a bit of a broader audience.
Then how do you search by hashtag on LinkedIn? I know how to search by hashtag on Instagram, but I don't know how to search by hashtag on LinkedIn.
Just up here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just up here, same way. So if I'm just searching hashtag, I don't know if anyone's doing this, but aromatherapy, I just do a search, and there we are. Like, here's somebody that posted hashtag aromatherapy, hashtag cleanse, all this. So you just do it up here, and you search that way. And so anyone that's searching this way, you're going to get in front of this. So you could write articles, tag aromatherapy, and like, let's see here. This was posted 24 minutes ago, 6 hours, 7 hours. So there's not, there's only a handful of aromatherapy posts a day that are using that hashtag.
There I am.
Oh, where? There you are, right there. Yeah. There you are. So when I'm looking at these kind of hashtags, it sorts the data, and so anyone that does this will find your article when they search a hashtag like aromatherapy.
So I did do it the right way.
You did do it the right way. Yeah, you did it fine.
Okay.
So the challenge then is just, are people searching hashtags on LinkedIn? And really, they're doing that a lot more frequently on Twitter and on Instagram than they are on LinkedIn. So it's not as effective, I would say, as LinkedIn as far as people searching. But I would recommend you include them anyway, because it doesn't hurt. It's not going to take away from your article. And, it's just adding that little bit of extra edge that might work out. One of the other questions you had asked was like kind of how to find CEOs, right, on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. So
again, you can do that up here. I mean, you can, if I just type in CEO and I want people with the title, I just go to people with the title CEO, I can do that, and I can then target people with the title CEO. I can come down here and filter a little bit more, and this is on the free version account here.
Okay.
So if I want my first degree contacts only, I could do this, and these are all people that I'm already connected to. And the reason that's good is because all of these CEOs, if I wanted to message them privately, I can, because you can only privately message people in your first degree network. If I wanted to prospect and find more people to connect with, I might just look for a second or a third degree contacts. And then these are all people that have the title of CEO, that are second degree contacts, and I can kind of search through here. Now we can also come down and we can make it specific by area. Right now this is across the whole world apparently. But if I wanted to use like the greater Los Angeles area, I can click there, and now I'm only getting people in the Southern California, Los Angeles region. This includes like Ventura, this includes Hollywood and Orange County. So that's all included. Basically, they have the greater Los Angeles area, and then they have like the greater San Diego area. So they're kind of limited on the specifics of your geographic search, but you can search by greater Los Angeles area, and then you can narrow down. These are all CEOs in that area. Now, with the paid accounts, you can also kind of siphon down by more specifics, like how long they've been at a company, their position let me try to remember exactly. It's like how long they've been at a company and how many employees are in the company, things like that. So if you're business to business, it's very, very effective to have something like Sales Navigator, because you can really find decision makers with that tool. And the other thing about what a lot of people do with like a Sales Navigator tool is they might prospect these companies, and they might not be directly connected to those people, but they can send what are called in-mails. And the in-mails are ways of connecting directly with anybody that you are not directly connected to. So like, for instance, if I picked any of these people and I wanted to send an email to them, they're not in my first degree network, so I can't send this guy an email, but I can send an in-mail, which costs money, or you get a handful of them. I think you get like 15 a month if you have a paid subscription, like a Sales Navigator or something like that, so that's kind of how you can message people privately without being connected to them. So that's useful as long as you have an effective message to tell them. So I think another one of your questions had been kind of like, well, okay, so how do you approach people? You said kind of, let's see, protocols on how to reach out and connect to people, what's acceptable, what's annoying, best introductions, and let me see here. And right, is that what you're kind of asking?
Yes, because for instance, if you are trying to get contacts in your industry and that person's not connected to you, and you want to say, even if you're not sending an in message, but let's say you're trying to connect, you want to add a little note, what is compelling, is there a certain protocol, or is there a way to handle that seems professional, that is relevant?
I mean, in my opinion, I always come back to this principle, and I've talked about this a lot in this course of what's called inbound marketing. And to sum that up in one sentence, it means that you're providing value to the other person. You're essentially putting them ahead of you, so their needs in front of your needs. So if I wanted to connect with somebody and like this person, and I want to add a note,
right?
I would probably approach it from a standpoint of my name's Justin Womack. I'm an internet marketer. I'm constantly looking for referral partners, and I refer business to like-minded entrepreneurs. I wanted to see if we could collaborate and have a conversation about if there's any synergy between our businesses to see how we can help each other, something along that lines.
Mm-hmm.
I find that to be the most effective because it's a soft open, and I think there's a lot of people that are going for the hard opens. And I mean, I guess I think on a micro, like on a numbers game, if you send 10,000 posts that are disrupting and directly asking for a sale, maybe you'll get one, but you're also kind of alienating a good chunk of people that are, when you send these like kind of automated messages to people, and they're and you're kind of putting your needs ahead of their needs, it's not necessarily good for your brand. So I try to be as soft with it as possible. If I go into my messaging, for instance, you'll see a lot of these that I get, and some of them are almost like comical. Like if I can find, there's one, where was it? I don't know. There was one from a couple days ago where somebody sent me a message on LinkedIn, and they left. There's something called a merge form on like automation. So there's if you have a template, a lot of times if you're sending from like MailChimp, you'll put in like hi, and then you'll put in this like little parentheses, first name parentheses.
Right.
So the person forgot to take that out of it, and they sent me like, hi, first name, how are you, blah, blah, blah. So like when you get those kind of messages, and it just feels incredibly, incredibly automated.
Yeah.
It kind of tends to be more of a of a turnoff than actually like really adding value. So let me see here. I know it's on here somewhere, but I don't want to take too much time here to find it. But it's but I get message almost every day, and a handful of them are messages that I read all of them, even, or at least I start to read it. I can kind of sniff out spam pretty quick. Right. But if I feel like it's something of interest, I will respond. I'll write back, and we'll talk. And so it's something that even I'm kind of still playing with. Now, one of the things that we talked about did you watch the replay of the call where we looked at duck soup at all? Any chance?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
That's okay. There's this tool that we've been playing with, and there's a free version and a paid version, like with all these things, but it's called Duck Soup, and it's let's see here, the DUX Soup, And if you go to ducks-soup.com, it'll take you to the website, but what it is it'll give you this a Chrome plugin. So it kind of just gets added to Chrome. I already have it on my Chrome. It's up here. It's one of these. Where's one is it? I think it's this one. So it's this one. You see my mouse cursor up there in the top right corner?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's the Duck Soup plugin, but you can kind of go to ducks-soup.com and you can get started. And it will take you to here where you can download the Chrome extension, and you get, let me see if it tells me here, you get a handful of functions for free with the version. And so what it does is it will auto go through 100 people's profiles every day. It'll visit from your account, and it will auto endorse people. And I've been playing with that a little bit and what happens is when you endorse people, you tend, a lot of times they'll endorse you back, which is good for growing your endorsements on your profile.
Right.
And other times it'll open up dialogues where people will message you or things like that, and it warms up the conversation. Another strategy that they teach on Duck Soup is, so let me just show you kind of like, if I was to go to search, we'll go back to the CEO kind of search. So if I was searching CEOs in Los Angeles, and if I go to this tool Duck Soup here, I kind of just click on it, and let me move that. Let's see here. I would click on Visit Profiles. And what it'll do is it'll just start automatically visiting all these people's profiles, and it'll endorse a handful of them too. But what the way that the strategy behind this is that the more profiles you visit, the more likely these people are to visit your profile back. And if they visited your profile, it can open up a dialogue and a conversation. So the way it's kind of been taught to me and the way I've been playing with it is like if somebody, I can go in and I can look at who's viewed my profile, and I can then private message those people that have viewed my profile, and I can open up and I could say, I noticed you came across my profile. I just wanted to reach out and start a conversation because I'm in this industry and whatnot, and I wanted to chat about my business, or chat about our businesses. So it kind of warms up the connection more than just like a completely cold open.
Right. And for me, is it okay if I ask you a question now?
Oh yeah, please.
So the thing with LinkedIn is because people see who's been looking at them, I'm always reluctant to click on somebody's profile, because I'm thinking, oh, they're gonna wonder why I looked at their profile. Like let's say if I'm looking to send some materials to a buyer or whatever, and I looked at their profile, I almost feel a little embarrassed, because they will see I checked out their profile. I don't know why, but it almost makes you feel like you're in a position of vulnerability.
Yeah, and I think there's multiple schools of thought there, and I understand where you're coming from on that. I guess I've kind of I've come to adapt the kind of the alternate view there, where I'm now just visiting everybody and using that to my advantage to open up conversations. But I do understand that from like a privacy standpoint. Yeah, it does kind of look strange if you don't want people to know that you're visiting. LinkedIn does kind of track that and let people know. Now, if somebody has a free account, they can only see the past 5 people that viewed their profile. So they can't actually see. So like right here, I don't have a paid account right now. I go off and on with Sales Navigator, but mine right now is on the free account. but I can see these are the past, what is it, past 5 people that viewed my profile over the last, 24 hours or so. And let's see here. And so one of these people, she was at Tanya Page. She was at a workshop of mine yesterday. And so that's somebody I actually ran into in person. So she checked out my profile on LinkedIn. And these other 3 are probably people that were combed through using that tool Duck Soup. If I found somebody like this guy's the head of business development at LG, that's he looks pretty young for that title though. But he might be somebody that I want to connect with, and I could connect because he's viewed my profile, and I can use that as an opener to start a dialogue. But the thing is, not everybody even looks at who's viewed their profile, for one.
Right.
You have to remember that a lot of people aren't looking at this. And then for 2, they can only see the past 5 people that have viewed their profile unless they have the paid account. And if they have a paid account, the way to tell that is, like, if we go to Andres' profile, he's using the paid account right now. You can see this little icon here.
Mm-hmm.
That will indicate that he has at least some level of a paid account right here. So that's the indicator that they have a paid account, and that means that they can see everybody that's viewed their profile over the last few days. So a lot of that is it's just a strategy, and I share all the strategies that I'm always testing them out. We're always playing with new stuff. We're always trying to stay ahead of the curve. Mm-hmm. So that's why we kind of get into these automation tools and things like that, because it is getting more crowded on LinkedIn as far as like private messaging goes. So that's why I like having a little bit of having that little edge of warming up the conversation before cold emailing somebody just helps a little bit to make it an easier open dialogue. But as I tell everybody, the best thing you can do with the private messaging is to just start a conversation on the phone or get a meeting scheduled in person, because the majority, 98% of business won't get done over LinkedIn Messenger. It'll get done over the phone and in person. So what this does though is it opens up these conversations, and it gets you talking, and then it gets you into the real business part where you still have to sell the person in some kind of a one-on-one phone call, video chat, or a private meeting. So it still tends to be where most business takes place. But this kind of it helps you find the right people, and it helps you start those conversations. And that's the thing that I'm all about on LinkedIn. So let me see here. So what were some of your other questions? Because I'll kind of pull some up here, but let's see here. Hashtags, articles. I think I kind of hit them all already.
Yeah, I think so.
Very cool. I hope we didn't miss any too many other people on that Zoom room confusion, but it'll have to do. So we still will be adding another module to the course this coming week, where we're going to get into the paid memberships a little bit more. So over the next week, we'll be adding a video on the different levels. So we're going to do one on the job seeker version, which is, where's the Activate Premium? So we'll talk about this version, which helps you find a career. And then we're also going to go into the Sales Navigator. So pretty much we're going to go through these two the most, because this is the best if you're looking for a job, the career one. And then this one's the best if you're looking to, especially if you're business to business and you're looking to network. So we will go a little bit out and talk about how to use those tools. Now, and each of you, including you, Sabine, you get a 30-day trial on Sales Navigator if you've never used it. And so after we do that video, you might want to try. So we'll reactivate either mine or Andres's Sales Navigator account, and we'll do a video demonstrating exactly how to prospect and how to do some of that business to business lead searching.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so we'll get that. We're gonna get that up in the next week here, and we're not gonna touch on this is HR. So this is if you're a hiring manager, and we're not gonna touch on that in this course unless there's popular demand or something. But I mean, really, this is about the course that we created is about sales and about if you want to find a job, techniques for that too. So these are the two best ones. Now the pricing is, what is it? It's $65 a month. So it's not it's not super cheap, but it is. Here's kind of some of the benefits of it. And again, we'll be doing a video on this. You get 20. It's actually 20 emails per month that you can send to people that aren't in your that are not part of your first degree network. You get actually sales insights, which these are just data points, charts, graphs, and you can look up like company data. So if you're looking up a specific company and you're business to business and you want to find companies that have a trajectory of growth, or they want to target companies that are doing a certain amount of revenue every year, you can kind of get that data from here. And then again, you can see everybody that's viewed your profile over the last 90 days, unlimited. So that could be thousands and thousands of people. And then you get unlimited profile browsing. So on your free account, if you want to view people that are in your third, you can only see a handful of them that are in your third degree or further out. Mm-hmm. So that's also one of the reasons we tell you to connect with everybody when you're on the free account, because it expands your ability to see other people. So the more people in your network, the more you're going to be able to see the other people that are on LinkedIn. And there are quite a few of them on there. They're at the 500 million mark right now. So they just hit that 500 million mark in April of active users on LinkedIn. So it's a big social network. So we'll get that up here in the coming week, and then I think that's pretty much going to be the last module that we'll be adding new, and then we might be refining some of the other modules, and a few of the videos will be probably reshooting, especially as things continue to change on LinkedIn to keep it updated. But that's kind of where we're going. Well, let's see. Did you have any other questions popping up about content, about prospecting, or anything else maybe I can demonstrate while I'm on the call here with you?
No, but as I was, well, maybe I wrote an article. I've noticed that when I do a post, I guess I get much more people to see it. Mm-hmm. And when I do an article, much less, and I'm not sure why. But I tried to do a post, but I realized that when you write a post, there's a limited amount of words you can use. So I had to switch it to an article, because past a certain amount of words, it can't be a post anymore. So I guess my interest is to grab people's attention. If you write an article or a post, and anything that can help grab people's attention is great.
Yeah, completely. That's what it's all about these days. Is I always come back to Gary Vaynerchuk. Have you heard of him? I've talked about him a couple times. He's an author, speaker on internet marketing, but he has this concept called attention arbitrage, which is basically like you're trying to buy retail arbitrage is when you try to buy retail items and then resell them for more money than you bought them for. Mm-hmm. So basically buying attention at a lower price by buying ads or creating these things and then trying to sell it for more. So I kind of like that as like a metaphor for what's going on online. But let's go into your question a bit here. So if I go, so basically when you go to your wall, if I look at, let's see, this is business on. Most of what is going to just pop up on my wall are going to be these just posts, just your updates. So I think what happens is from a standpoint of consistency and from easy, short to read, people are probably more likely to just kind of come, scan through and just click on a post that they on a post that they like, and they might get a little bit more engagement. The articles take more time to build up. However, when what I recommend with articles is that if you're posting it on LinkedIn, you should also be posting it on other social media networks, and you should be posting it on some kind of a blog platform like your WordPress site, or there's a platform called Medium, or there's like Blogger out there. So I recommend that if you write articles, that you put them out in multiple areas for people to consume, because it takes time to build an audience. And I still think articles are valuable, but I just when I say that, I just think also that you can't expect a ton of views or a ton of engagement until you've been consistently posting for anywhere from like 3 months to a year. Because there's a lot of bloggers out there that will blog for a month and then they never blog again, or they blog for 2 weeks, or they blog for a day. But it's the ones that kind of break through the threshold, and they're consistent, and they're also regular with their updates. They're the ones that tend to get the bigger reach and the bigger pull. With like things like YouTube, I mean, I don't know exactly. They never tell you exactly how the search algorithms work on these platforms, but you can kind of decipher how they do. And on YouTube, what works is if YouTube rewards you for posting on they reward consistency. So if you post a video like every single week on Mondays around the same time, they're going to share it. It'll be more likely to be shared in YouTube. And my hunch would be that LinkedIn would have a similar type of algorithm implanted, which would mean that like the more frequently and the more regularly or scheduled your article posting is, the more likely it is to get kind of spread out on LinkedIn. So that's kind of a thing, because a lot of these rules for search engine optimization tend to cross platforms. Now, Jackie had asked about tagging people in an article, and to be honest, I'm not sure, but let me just see if yeah, so it looks like as far as tagging people in an article, you can't quite do that. You could grab their profile URL and you could just you could add a link in here, but you can't tag them directly. One other thing you can do is you can create an article on LinkedIn, and so Andres wrote an article recently about going to Lightning in a Bottle, that festival, with his 2-year-old son here. So let's see here. Where'd it go? There it comes. So this one here. So Andres wrote this article, which was about lightning in a bottle and taking his toddler out. And this also talks a lot about like certain marketing concepts that he saw at the festival. But one thing that you can do is, if you do an article like this, you can grab the URL. So I could just copy the URL. I could come into my back into my account, and I could do an update also. And I could just paste that URL, and then I could have my article posted as an update. So I'm getting kind of the best of both worlds. So now I could just post this and write a brief update. I'm still getting all the words the same way. I can tag people this way, and now I'm sharing my article as an update. So you see what I'm talking about there, Sabine?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so I think that would be an effective strategy for you. Would be all you have to do is grab the URL of your article, you paste it in there as an update, and then once you've pasted it, you can delete the URL like I did here, because it's already saved, it's already put in there, embedded in the post now. And then I could just then I can still have my full character limit on the update here, and I can tag anybody I want to tag, and I can share it this way. And so this way, again, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're more likely to get engagement on here, and then you're also kind of remarketing your article. So every month or so, you could repost an old article as an update, because there's a concept called evergreen content, and a lot of people in the blogging industry use these things, this concept of evergreen content. And what they basically do is evergreen means it's kind of like timeless. It's you can reuse it over and over again because it's not, it's not tied to specific dates. So if you're talking about like the benefits of aromatherapy, that would be something that could be treated like evergreen. Now, if you're talking about the benefits of aromatherapy in 2017, then that's got a time limit on it. So it's a little bit different. But what people do is they wait usually about 3 months, and every 3 months they'll start reposting their old blog articles, or you could do it like this, just as an update, and a new audience should find it that way. And you're kind of sharing the same material, but you're finding a new audience with it too. So that's a strategy that people use too. But I think this would be good for you, would be to paste your links in here and share this. And every time you do an article, maybe share it. Post it as an article, and then maybe share it 2 or 3 times as an update over the course of a couple of weeks, and you're more likely to get more traction that way.
I'm not sure. Wait, over the course of 2 or 3 weeks, I share it?
Well, I mean, if it's a new piece of, how often are you writing articles?
Not very often. I'm super busy.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to have some activity, better than no activity at all. And sometimes I have events, so I would like to, so I post, an article or a post related to that upcoming event. So obviously that is time sensitive. But what do you mean when you say share? So I take my article, and who do I share it? How do I share it?
No, that same way. So I would do a couple posts. So when you have a new article, a couple times, I would share it multiple times. So I wouldn't just put it in once, and then I might post this, and then I'll put a caption and just say, like, this was my experience at this festival. There's some really cool marketing advice in here. And then like next week, I might come back in again and be like, just wanted to make sure that you guys had a chance to check out this article I wrote, and post it again. Because it's crowded on these platforms and people miss stuff.
I see.
So the more you put it out there, the more likely they are to find it. And it's not really, if you're not posting it, 5 times a day, or you're not being super overt with it, it's not going to like offend anybody. It's not going to bother anyone. So,
that's really good.
And what you also can do is, when you grab that URL, I could go on if you want to just kind of like do things quickly, you could go on Facebook, for instance, and I could just paste it in here too. And then I'm bringing people to my LinkedIn article from Facebook and see how it kind of just links to it like that.
Okay.
So I could share on Facebook and bring people from there. You could do the same thing from other social media platforms, but you're kind of just, you're finding multiple traffic sources to get to the article instead of just relying on the article itself through LinkedIn.
Right. Okay. That's great advice.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm glad that you came here, because I like to have dialogue, right? And let me see here. So I think we'll go ahead and kind of wrap up for now. It's almost 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So any last questions? Anything else come up for you recently that I might be able to address here?
Nope. I think that's it.
All right, cool. All right, Sabine. Well, I will go ahead and wrap up then. And if you have any other questions, feel free to email me, or you can call Andres or myself, or text us. We're always kind of available. So feel free. And so when you get a chance, though, kind of try to get through a little bit more of the content. I know it's like a time suck, and it's always tough to kind of find the time to get all through all this, but it is useful. There's a lot of good material in the course there, and so look forward to connecting more and hearing about what's working and where you're finding success here. So
thank you.
You're welcome. So thanks, Sabine. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up and end the call, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.